In this video, I'm going to show you something that Cosmopolitan just posted out in the open. They just came out and said what the agenda is. And this is coming from the largest young women's media brand in the world. And then I want to look at a new documentary that Apologia, a new documentary that they just posted called The Fatal Flaw. We're going to take a look at a snippet of this documentary, and it should utterly shock you what they expose in this documentary when it comes to the pro-life movement. Quickly though, we must have a foundation in the Word of God. I just want to show you a couple of these verses. Check this out. Isaiah chapter 49. The Lord called me from the womb. From the body of my mother, He named my name. You were known by God. You were named by God in the womb. In fact, in Jeremiah chapter 1, this is the call of Jeremiah. It goes even further. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. This is saying that before you were even formed in the womb, you had purpose. And I knew who you were intimately, intricately, and lovingly. It is life in the womb, and even before the womb, you were a life that God already had in mind. And it's important to know this when you see things like this coming out of Cosmopolitan, which they claim to be the largest media brand in the world, at least for young women. So keep that in mind. But you scroll down here, and this is an actual post by Cosmopolitan. Listen to what they're saying now. They're not even trying to make it sound sweeter than it is, to whisper in your ear pretty little lies, to make this sound like, oh, it's not sacrifice, it's healthcare. First, find a quiet space. Bring a mirror if you can. Just before taking the medication, gaze at your reflection and focus on your personhood. Home in on your intent, your responsibility to you. It goes on to say, take a few deep, relaxing breaths. When you're ready, read the following tenet aloud. One's body is inviolable, which essentially means that your body is not to be dishonored by a human life within it, or your body is not to be infringed on by another human being, subject to one's own will alone. Take the medication and immediately afterward recite, beliefs should conform to one's best scientific understanding of the world. One should take care never to distort scientific facts to fit one's beliefs. Talk about irony, but the way that they're using this is to say that science is whatever we think should be fact. And if you go with actual science, what is actually the truth, then you're denying and distorting scientific facts to fit your own beliefs. True science is just whatever we feel is true on the inside, because our bodies are inviolable. As later, once the procedure is complete, return to your reflection. Focus again on your personhood, your power in making this decision. Complete the ritual by reciting a personal affirmation. By my body, my blood, by my will, it is done.
Elise Blythe, a minister of Satan, joins us live to talk a little bit more about this and the reasoning behind it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So first off, just kind of explain to me what's going on, because I know that this is over in New Mexico, and why was New Mexico chosen and what is going to happen here?
Yeah, so just to clarify what exactly we're doing. So the Satanic Temple has already launched, so we've been open since yesterday, February 14th. A telehealth religious abortion clinic that is providing material support for those who want to have to engage in the religious abortion ritual. So how this will work is prospective patients will complete a brief confidential online screening form and review information on performing TST's religious abortion ritual. A telehealth video appointment with licensed healthcare practitioners will then be scheduled, and eligible patients will then be able to order medication from our partner pharmacies. So this is a telehealth clinic. This is no brick and mortar. We are providing abortifacients, so the two abortifacient pills. We are not providing any surgical services. So after the patient is approved, the medication will then be discreetly packaged and arrived in the mail 2 to 3 days after the order is placed. And then, of course, our staff will be available to patients by phone, text, or video chat every step of the way. And we also provide ordained ministers to assist in the religious abortion ritual itself. But as far as New Mexico currently has the best set of laws right now to support telehealth care, as well as, abortion laws, to allow us to do this. And since it is our first foray into this, it's really good to get our start there, as well as its proximity to other states that have a lot more restrictions, such as Arizona and Texas.
And I should have asked you this earlier, but kind of walk me through the temple's views when you're talking about abortion and things of that nature.
Of course. So as Satanists, we are guided by our sincere and deeply held beliefs. And so those beliefs hold that we have an inviolable right to make decisions about our own bodies, and that those decisions are ours alone to make and should be based on our best scientific understanding of the world. We also hold that when either of these things are violated or under threat by laws and institutions, it is our duty to stand firm against them. So when we talk about the topic of abortion, I know there's always a lot of rhetoric surrounding when life begins, and the morality of the topic of abortion. But since the morality of abortion tends to stem from a religious point of view, we do not view abortion as the killing of an individual living being that is separate from the pregnant person. It's what this solely is about is we are guided by our tenets of bodily autonomy, basing our best understanding of the world on scientific evidence, and therefore we are treating this as a ability for us to engage in our religious practice, which bodily autonomy is paramount to that, and the decisions people make about them.
So have you faced any pushback from the local lawmakers there?
Not so far, not that we're aware of. No, we haven't gotten any responses from any New Mexico politicians at this time. So, this clinic is possible because New Mexico values religious freedom as well as accessibility to reproductive health care.
Do you have any plans to expand to any other states? I know right now you're kind of sticking with New Mexico, but are there other plans in the works to go to some of the other states?
So we do plan on expanding eventually, as we're only on day 2 of its operations. So we definitely want to make sure we focus on getting everything up and running and settled with what we currently have before we expand. But yes, our plan is to make our services, the material support for the religious abortion ritual, to people in other states, including ones that have prohibitions. At that time, we would definitely be utilizing our rights under RFRA to make that possible.
So does a woman have to join the Satanic Temple to actually use these services, or is it open to everyone?
Our services are open to anybody who, pursuant to their deeply held religious beliefs or deeply held beliefs, want to partake in the religious abortion ritual. So whether that's somebody who identifies as a TST Satanist, or who is a member, or maybe somebody who's not a member, our services are available.
Why do you think the Satanic Temple is so controversial? This story here has gone viral as so many people are talking about it. Why is it controversial to folks out there?
Well, I think the topic of Satan will always be controversial. Anytime you say the word, it definitely inspires a fear of what people think we are as opposed to who we are. So that will be controversial no matter what. You say Satan, all of a sudden heads will turn. But the Satanic Temple has always been working towards religious reproductive rights, asserting, affirming that, pursuant to our religious beliefs, that we have the inviolable right to our bodies and therefore to make decisions about our bodies, and that, you know, includes reproductive justice. So when you tie Satan with the topic of abortion, which, you know, abortion is a very controversial topic, despite the fact that it shouldn't be, you know, for the reasons that it is controversial. Yeah, it's I can understand why, and despite the fact that we wish it wasn't, you know, we have to you know, be real, you know, realistic about that. So you know, it is controversial, but sometimes the controversy can help us make sure that people who are in need of our services are aware that they are available.
All right, Shalise, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you so much for having me on.